Nigeria's electoral body, Inec, imputing wrong figures on server, BVS configuration, PDP presidential campaign shouts out. Can you imagine? How did we know this? Okay, because right now, because of the ongoing investigation, I think Labour Party, I don't know, PDP have been granted access to the BVS and to the election materials to collect evidences um, and material that will be used in the court. Okay, but now PDP is shouting that Nigeria's electoral body INEC is putting wrong configuration data or factors into the servers and the BVS machines. Oh boy. I hope they will not go and put a multiplicity against something so that by the time they put one will turn to 100. Somebody should look at what they are calling configuration or calibration or whatever. Because for PDP to shout out, something must have leaked, something could be happening there. Something could obviously be happening there. And somebody actually has to check and confirm that this shout that PDP shouting is not ordinary. The People Democratic Party PDP Presidential Campaign Council has alleged that the Independent National Electoral Commission is imputing wrong figures while transferring results to the back-end server. Oh, okay. So transferring results to the back-end server, something like a backup. They are putting wrong figures there. They are putting different numbers there. So it is time for them to correct, to streamline all the lies that they use in making Tinubu the winner. That is what they're doing. So what they are putting there, instead of backing up exactly what is from the BVS or the front line server, they are now putting their own number there and call it a backup. Hey, Nigeria. So that all these ones are buying time to perfect all the wrongdoings that they have done. The PDP campaign spokesperson Dino Melaye stated this on Monday while vowing that his party, the PDP, would expose any wrong imputation and change in figures by the commission as it transferred election results to the back-end server. Sahara reporters had reported that the outcome of the February 25 presidential election, which the candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Bola Tinubu, was declared winner, had been a subject of debate. The election had been described by some stakeholders as the worst election since the return of democracy in 1999. It had been reported that the elections were marred with irregularities such as late arrival of electoral materials, voter suppression, thuggery, manipulation of election results, among others. Above all, the electoral empire breached its guidelines and regulations for elections and provisions of Electoral Act 2022 and Nigerian Constitution. Since the February 25 elections, criticisms have continued to trail the conduct of the election. Following the accusations, both the Labour Party and PDP presidential candidates approached the court to grant them order to inspect all the electoral materials used during the poll. However, the Court of Appeal granted the Labour Party's request for inspection of the electoral materials, but the Nigerian electoral umpire has refused to grant the warring parties access to those materials. What pundits have viewed as a subtle way of altering the information on the BVS, INEC sought and obtained order of appeal court to reconfigure the bimodal voter accreditation system machines ahead of March 18 governorship and state House of Assembly elections. With the skepticism, Atiku's spokesperson took to its official Twitter handle to accuse the electoral umpire or the Electoral Commission of imputing wrong figure on the database other than the original figure from the polling unit. The former lawmaker said they would shock INEC and its ICT department. He wrote, INEC is doing the wrong thing, wrong imputation going on. We will expose any wrong imputation and figures changing as upload and back-end transfer is going on. We will shock INEC and the ICT department, jail loading for many. Wow, it's jail loading for many. Somebody, Senator Dino Melaye, INEC is doing the wrong thing, wrong imputation going on. We will expose any wrong imputation and figures changing as upload and back end transfer is going on. We will shock INEC and the ICT department, jail loading for many. Wow, this is what Dino is writing in his Twitter handle. So this is what is coming from Dino Milaye, shouting it out now for everybody to hear that INEC is putting wrong figures um, as they're doing backup of election results on the back end server. So they're transferring data from, I'm sure, from the BVS and from the IREF portal at the front end to the back end backup server, so that by the time they configure the system for the fresh election coming on Saturday, there will be lots of information. But what Dino Melaye is saying here is that wrong imputation is going on. They are transferring wrong data. They are transferring wrong data from the front end server, that is IRF server, back to the back end of it. So why would that happen if it is happening? How would we know who is the third party verifier that is checking what INEC is doing to be sure that they are not just putting what they like? Because I know that what INEC is doing now is streamlining the data they use in declaring Tinubu as winner, ranging from wiping original data to now putting the data they manipulated, which they use in declaring Tinubu as winner. That is what they are going to put at the back end server for future reference. But the question is it the right data that they are putting there? Because at the cities now, INEC is busy cleaning up its mess. That is what they're doing. Because in the first place, they've not been able to prove to Nigeria explicitly that it was expedient to reconfigure the BVS machine and the RF server portal for this March 18 election to take place. These guys are not to be trusted at all. I tell you, they are not to be trusted. They are not to be trusted. It's quite unfortunate that we're in this mess, but they cannot be trusted. All right. So now that Dino Melaye has shouted out, who is responding, who has gone to check, he's already saying that they have their own data. They will shock INEC, they will shock the world, and jail is loading for somebody, meaning that by the time they provide their own proof and data, and then INEC will need to defend how what they put in there is different from what the polling unit results are, because that is where the discrepancy will come. They can put what they want to put, but the hard copies and the raw data from the polling units are still available to some people and to be presented in the court as exhibit or as evidence. Okay, so that is what is happening right now at INEC office, and Dino Melaye, as usual, has shouted out again. Let's hope that he will have listening ears. Let's hope that there will be a third party verifier that will confirm that what INEC is doing is correct before it is too late. So thank you for listening, and let's have a comment.